Big E gets his big win. I'm Matt Carlins, and this is Just Pro Wrestling News for Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. A big welcome to those of you listening on OccupyProWrestling.com. You can bring our updates to your website. Find out how at JustProWrestlingNews.com.
WWE.
Big E is the new WWE Champion. He cashed in his Money in the Bank contract at the end of last night's Raw, right after Bobby Lashley had pinned Randy Orton to retain the title. The match itself lasted just over a minute before Big E pinned Lashley with the big ending and took the gold. Big E's coronation comes nearly 12 years after his very first match in WWE's developmental system.
I'm glad in many ways that it took so long because it feels earned. I'm glad that, I wasn't handed things right away, that I had time to grow.
That clip from WWE's social media. Also on last night's Raw, Damian Priest beat Jeff Hardy to retain the United States Championship. Raw Women's Champion Charlotte Flair won a non-title match over Shayna Baszler thanks to a distraction from Nia Jax. After the match, Alexa Bliss showed up with a version of Lilly dressed as Charlotte and named it Charly. Then Bliss attacked and laid out Charlotte. Nikki ASH pinned one half of the WWE Women's Tag Champs, Tamina, and Rhea Ripley took care of the other half. She beat Natalya. Doudrop beat Eva Marie. Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders beat Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky. McIntyre pinned Shanky with the Claymore. And AJ Styles, Amos, Mace, and T-Bar beat Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Mustafa Ali, and Mansoor. Amos pinned Ali. The WWE Draft was announced for the October 1st episode of SmackDown and the October 4th episode of Raw. Tonight is a new beginning for NXT, a new logo, new studio setting, and after tonight, a new top champion. Tonight's show has a fatal four-way match for the vacant NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa versus Kyle O'Reilly versus LA Knight versus Pete Dunne. This was supposed to be a number one contender match, but the former champion Samoa Joe relinquished the title on Sunday. Also on tonight's show, Raquel Gonzalez defends the NXT Women's Championship against Frankie Monet, plus the wedding of Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis.
Ring of Honor.
New Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions were crowned on this past weekend's ROH TV. La Facción Ingobernables, Dragon Lee, and Kenny King dethroned Violence Unlimited's Chris Dickinson and Homicide. Also on the show, the Briscoes beat ROH World Champion Bandito and Ray Horace. Horace took the pin.
Impact Wrestling.
Impact Wrestling announced an upcoming all-women's event, Knockouts Knockdown. It'll be broadcast on the Impact Plus service on Saturday, October 9th. Matches will be recorded this weekend at the Skyway Studios in Nashville. Mercedes Martinez, Lady Frost, and Christy Hemme are among the names from outside of Impact Wrestling who are set to appear on the show. It will also include the Daphne Memorial Monsters Ball match.
AEW.
At least 8 matches are announced for tonight's AEW Dark, including Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Wheeler Yuta versus Jorah Joel and TH2, plus legit Layla Hirsch versus Kylan King. On last night's Dark Elevation, Daniel Garcia submitted Lee Moriarty, and Nyla Rose pinned Sky Blue with the Beast Bomb. Tonight's NWA Power has Aaron Stevens and Kratos versus Jamie Stanley and El Rudo in the quarterfinals of the Tag Team Championship number 1 Contenders Tournament. Also, Crimson versus Jack Stane, Paola Blaze versus Marty Bell, and Scion versus Jordan Clearwater versus Jeremiah Plunkett in a triple threat match.
New Japan Pro Wrestling.
IWGP United States Champion Hiroshi Tanahashi and Tomohiro Ishii will both wrestle on this week's episode of New Japan Strong as it moves to its new Saturday night time slot. That's Just Pro Wrestling News for Tuesday, September 14th. Our next update comes your way tomorrow morning. So please rate, review, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next update. I'm Matt Carlins. Thank you for listening.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.